Hello dear students, in the last class we are in the discussion of some important terms related to the rotational motion. So we discussed what is angular displacement and also what is angular velocity and what is the relation between angular velocity and linear velocity. Now let us discuss third term that is related to the rotational motion, that is called angular acceleration. Third one, angular acceleration. Angular acceleration can be represented by alpha. Okay, so angular displacement represented by theta, angular velocity represented by omega, and angular acceleration can be represented by alpha. What do you mean by angular displacement? It is the angle covered by the rotating body. And what do you mean by angular velocity? It is the rate of change of angular displacement. Now we are going to discuss what is angular acceleration. So what is angular acceleration? It is the rate of change of angular velocity. It is the rate of change of angular velocity. Means the change in angular velocity of the rotating body with respect to time. It is the rate of change of angular velocity. So mathematically we can write alpha is equal to d omega by dt. Then how to read this one? The rate of change of angular velocity. What do you mean by the rate of change of angular velocity? The change in angular velocity of the rotating body with respect to time. And now angular acceleration is a vector quantity because angular velocity is also vector quantity. So angular acceleration is a vector quantity because angular velocity is a vector quantity. Once again, what do you mean by angular acceleration? It is the rate of change of angular velocity. Now, so the first point about the angular acceleration. Angular acceleration is a vector quantity. Means it is a vector quantity. It is a vector quantity. And what is the SI unit of angular acceleration? Okay, see here. What is the SI unit of angular velocity? That is radian per second. Then what is the SI unit of angular acceleration? So according to the formula, the angular acceleration is equal to the rate of change of angular velocity, d omega by dt, the rate of change of angular velocity. So angular velocity can be measured in radian per second. Radian per second. And what is the SI unit of time? The SI unit of time is second. Now second taken to the numerator. Second taken to the numerator. Radian per second per second. Per second per second, that is per second square. That is radian per second square. Radian per second square. So what is the SI unit of angular acceleration? The SI unit of angular acceleration is radian per second square. SI unit of angular acceleration is radian per second square. Radian per second square. Then once again, what is the SI unit of angular displacement? Radian. What is the SI unit of angular velocity? Radian per second. Then what is the SI unit of angular acceleration? That is radian per second square. Now what is the relation between angular acceleration and linear acceleration? So already we know what is the relation between angular velocity and linear velocity, that is v is equal to omega into r. Now we are going to derive what is the relation between angular acceleration and linear acceleration. Next one, relation between angular acceleration and linear acceleration. Angular acceleration can be represented by alpha and linear acceleration can be represented by a. Okay. Now what is the relation between angular velocity and linear velocity? That is v is equal to omega into r. Here the r is constant because radius in case of rotational motion is constant. Variable things are v and omega. V and omega both are changing with respect to time, hence differentiating this equation with respect to time. Differentiating above equation with respect to time. As the body rotates, there is a change in angular velocity with respect to time, and also there is a change in linear velocity with respect to time, but radius in case of rotational motion is constant. Okay, now differentiating this equation with respect to time, so that is the rate of change of linear velocity is equal to the rate of change of angular velocity into radius. Radius is constant. Here variables are v and omega, but radius is constant. The rate of change of linear velocity is called linear acceleration, and the rate of change of angular velocity is called angular acceleration, that is alpha, then alpha into r. Hence it is the relation between linear acceleration and angular acceleration. Okay, so what is the third term used in case of rotational motion, that is angular acceleration. Then what is angular acceleration? It is the rate of change of angular velocity, means the change in angular velocity of the rotating body with respect to time. Then mathematical expression for angular acceleration is alpha is equal to d omega by dt. So how to read this one? The rate of change of angular velocity means the change in angular velocity with respect to time, and the angular acceleration is a vector quantity. And what about the SI unit of angular acceleration? The SI unit of angular acceleration is radian per second square. And what is the relation between angular acceleration and linear acceleration? That is a is equal to alpha into r, otherwise alpha is equal to a by r. Okay, now this is the relation. Next, fourth term used in case of rotational motion. That fourth term is called torque, and another name for the torque is moment of force. Fourth one, that is torque. Torque is also referred as moment of force. So what is the cause of linear motion? The cause of linear motion is linear force. Then what is the cause of rotational motion? The cause of rotational motion is moment of force or torque. See here, what do you mean by torque? It is the turning effect of force and which causes the rotation. Okay, it is the turning effect of force. Which causes rotation motion. Rotational motion. So let us consider a rigid body. For example, I will take a rod. Now one end of the rod is fixed and another end of the rod is free. Now at the free end we are going to apply the force, because to rotate the rod, in order to rotate the rod we are going to apply the force at the free end of the rod, and this is the fixed end, and this fixed end is also called pivot. Then I will take this fixed end as O and this free end as A. At the end A we are going to apply the force. This is force. This force is applied to rotate the rigid body. Okay, now so this is called lever arm. So the distance of the free end from the fixed end is called lever arm, where R is lever arm. What do you mean by lever arm here? It is the distance of the free end from the fixed end. Okay, this is called lever arm. Okay, now, so this force can be resolved into two components. And which force can causes the rotational motion here? Because this force is in a plane, means it is in a two dimension. And this force can be resolved into how many components here? Two components. This is lever arm and this is a applied force to rotate the body. Now, so by the resolution of vector. So what is the resolution of vector? A vector can be resolved into two components in a plane. Means in two dimension, a vector can be resolved into how many components? Two components. So let us take this part only. Then this is end A and this is x-axis and it is y-axis. Then this is angle theta. So theta is the angle between the force vector and lever arm. What is the theta here? Theta is the angle between the force vector and lever arm. This lever arm is also called position vector. Okay, the position vector of the A with respect to O. The position vector of the A with respect to O, that can be represented by R. What is theta here? Theta is the angle between the force vector and position vector. And this force can be resolved into how many components here? Two components. Among them, which force can causes the rotational motion here? This is F cos theta and this is F sin theta. This is F sin theta. Okay. So here this is taken as F cos theta. Here F cos theta does not cause the rotational motion, but F sin theta causes the rotation motion. F sin theta causes the rotational motion, but not F cos theta. Okay. Now, what is the mathematical expression for torque? Mathematical expression for torque. Expression for torque. Torque is also called as moment of force because it causes the rotational motion. Okay. Now, by the diagram, so the product of the perpendicular component of force and position vector, that gives the torque. What is the perpendicular component of force? That is F sin theta, because F sin theta causes the rotational motion, means F sin theta gives the torque. Now, torque can be represented by tau, the letter tau. That tau is equal to then position vector into the perpendicular component of force, that is F sin theta. Then we can write Rf sin theta. So it is in the form of the cross product of two vectors. What is the cross product of two vectors? Vector P cross vector Q is nothing but P into Q sin theta. Then P into Q sin theta can be written as P cross Q. Hence R into F sin theta can be written as R cross F. Then it is R cross F. And torque is a vector quantity because the cross product of two vectors gives a vector. Okay. So torque is a vector quantity, position vector is vector quantity, and also force is also vector quantity. Hence, this is the mathematical expression for torque in terms of vector form. Then in terms of scalar form, tau is equal to Rf sin theta. Then R is called, what is R here? R is called lever arm, or it is the distance of the free end from the fixed end. Okay. At the free end we are going to apply the force to rotate the body. Okay. Now, what is the SI unit of torque? So some important points about the torque. SI unit of torque is SI unit of torque is Newton meter. Is Newton meter. Capital N, small m. Symbolical representation of Newton meter, that is capital N, small m. Here. So the position vector measured in meter, force is measured in Newton. That is why it is a Newton meter. What is the SI unit of torque? That is a Newton meter. And torque is a vector quantity. Torque is a vector quantity because torque is nothing but cross product of position vector and force vector. Torque is a vector quantity. Torque is a vector quantity. Okay. So next one, when does the torque acting on the body is maximum and when does the torque acting on the body is minimum? Torque acting on the body is maximum means tau is equal to R into F. Torque acting on the body is minimum, then tau is equal to 0. See here, special cases. First one. So when does torque acting on the body is maximum? If theta is equal to 90 degree. What do you mean by theta here? Theta is nothing but it is the angle between the force vector and position vector. So means the position vector is perpendicular to the force vector. Perpendicular to the force vector. See here, this is a rod and this is fixed end and it is a free end. At the free end we are going to apply the force. How the force is applied here? The force is applied perpendicular to the position vector. So let us take it is O and it is A. O is the fixed point and A is the free end. Okay. Now the distance of the free end from the fixed end can be taken as a lever arm and that can be represented as vector R and it is a position vector of the A with respect to O and the force is applied to the free end. Then what is the angle between force vector and the position vector? That is a 90 degree. That is 90 degree because force vector is perpendicular to the position vector. Okay, see here. Now let us assume this is a rod. Okay. Let us assume this is a rod and this is fixed end and it is free end. If we are going to apply the force to this free end perpendicular, then what happens? The torque acting on the body is maximum. The torque acting on the body, rigid body is maximum. Okay. Now, so let us take it is theta is equal to 90 degree. Now, what is the expression for torque? The expression for torque is tau is equal to Rf sin theta. Rf sin theta. Then what about theta here? Theta is 90 degree. Then sin 90 degree is how much? 1. Then it is R into F sin 90 degree. Sin 90 degree is 1. Then it is R into F. Now the torque acting on the rigid body is maximum. So when does the torque acting on the rigid body is maximum? Only when the angle between the position vector and the force vector is 90 degree. Okay. Next, when does the when does the torque acting on the rigid body is minimum? Second case. If theta is equal to 0 degree, means the angle between the position vector and force vector is 0 degree. Hence, the position vector is parallel to the force vector. If two vectors are parallel to each other, the angle between them is 0. Once again. So, fixed end, free end. At the free end, we are going to apply the force. So, how does force is applied here? The force is applied parallel to the position vector. That is position vector R. What is the angle between the position vector and force vector? That is 0 degree. Because both are along the same direction. Both are along the same direction means here both are parallel to each other. Hence, by using the formula tau is equal to R into F sin theta. Then what is the angle between the position vector and force vector? That is 0 degree. Then we can write Rf sin 0 degree. Sin 0 degree is 0. 0 into Rf is again 0. Now, the torque acting on the rigid body is minimum. That is 0. So, once again, see here. Let us assume This is a rod. Okay. Now this is fixed end and it is a free end. How the force is applied here? The force is applied parallel to the position vector. Hence the torque acting on this rigid body is 0. When the torque acting on this rigid body is 0, hence there is no rotational motion of the rigid body. How should be force is applied to rotate the body? The force should be perpendicular to the free end here, like this. If the force is applied parallel to the free end, there is no rotational motion of the rigid body, hence the torque acting on the rigid body is 0. Okay. Next, this is about, so next one, fifth term. What is fifth term? That is angular momentum. Angular momentum is here the cross product of position vector and linear momentum vector. What is the torque here? Torque is nothing but it is the cross product of position vector and force vector. But what is angular momentum? It is the cross product of position vector and linear momentum vector. Fifth one, that is angular momentum. So torque causes the change in angular momentum of the rotating body. Now see here. This is a rod. As usual, it is a fixed end and it is a free end. So at the free end, we are going to apply the force. At the free end, we are going to apply the force means that body start to rotate. Then, in the direction of force, I will take momentum. This is momentum. This momentum can be taken as vector P. So momentum can be represented by vector P. Then this is the position vector R. Position vector R. Then what is the angle between the position vector, this is position vector, and momentum vector, that can be taken as theta. And here this momentum vector can be resolved into two components, because this momentum vector is in a plane, means it is in a two dimension. Okay. So one is x component, another one is y component. It is y component and it is x component. Then what is the x component of vector P? That is P cos theta. P cos theta. And what is the y component of the vector P? That is P sin theta. So P sin theta. Then which force causes the rotational motion? F sin theta. Means in the direction of F sin theta, P sin theta is there. Okay. Hence we have to take P sin theta but not P cos theta, because F sin theta causes the rotational motion but not F cos theta. F sin theta causes the rotational motion but not F cos theta. Okay. Now, so expression for angular momentum, that is L is equal to that is R into P sin theta. R into P sin theta, because we have to take P sin theta but not P cos theta, because F sin theta causes the rotation but not F cos theta. Okay. Hence, so R into P sin theta, this can be written as R cross P. R cross P. Hence, it is the expression for angular momentum. What is the expression for angular momentum? It is the cross product of position vector and linear momentum vector. Okay. Now, what is the SI unit of angular momentum? Okay. So, first one, SI unit of angular momentum. SI unit of angular momentum is, so listen here, from this equation, what is the SI unit of position vector? That is meter. What is the SI unit of momentum? SI unit of momentum is kg meter per second. Momentum, P is equal to mass into velocity, m into v. Hence, what is m here? Mass of the rotating body. And what is v? It is the linear velocity of the rotating body. Then, what is the SI unit of mass? Kg. What is the SI unit of linear velocity? That is meter per second. Hence, it is the SI unit of momentum. Hence, we can write L is equal to R into P sin theta. So, here sin theta is unitless. Then what is the SI unit of position vector? That is meter. What is the SI unit of momentum? That is kg meter per second. Kg meter per second. Hence, the SI unit of angular momentum is kg meter square per second. Meter into meter, that is meter square. Kg meter square per second. What is the SI unit of angular momentum? Kg meter square per second. And angular momentum is also vector quantity because it is the cross product of position vector and linear momentum vector. It is a vector quantity. It is a vector quantity. And when does the angular momentum of the rotating body is maximum? So the angular momentum of the rotating body is maximum only when the angle between the position vector and momentum vector is 90 degree. If the angle between the position vector and momentum vector, this is momentum vector and it is position vector, is 90 degree. Hence the angular momentum of the rotating body is maximum. And when does the angular momentum of the rotating body is minimum? Only when the position vector and momentum vector both are parallel to each other, means angle between the position vector and momentum vector is 0 degree. Then sin 0 is 0 na? Hence the angular momentum of the rotating body is 0. When the angular momentum of the rotating body is maximum? Only when the angle between the position vector and momentum vector is 90 degree. And when does the angular momentum of rotating body is minimum is 0? Only when the angle between the momentum vector and position vector is 0 degree. Okay. So this is all about some very important terms related to the rotational motion.